Welcome in to Outkick the Show. I am your fearless leader, Clay Travis. I hope all of you are having fantastic Tuesdays, wherever you may be across the country, across this great land. Here in Nashville, where I live, we have had a major winter storm threat that didn't actually materialize into anything, but my kids are out of school early. They got out of school 2 hours early today because they were worried about the school buses having to run after dark. And so I am, if you hear yelling and screaming, it's potentially my kids downstairs who are already home from school. All right, we got a lot to get to. NFL top five, bottom five. The NFC East just flat out stinks. It's a disgrace of a conference and a division right now. LeVeon Bell can't play on Sunday, but he goes late night bowling. The Patriots are filming people again, and Poopocalypse Now, I had a disastrous evening, which I will close out the show for. Warning, if it is lunchtime or you are eating while you're watching this show, you're probably not going to want to be around for the poop disaster story. But we start with the top five in the NFL. I am oh so close to putting my Tennessee Titans in the top five. Ryan Tannehill has led them on an incredible 6-1 run, but I'm going to wait till after we beat the Texans on Sunday and claim the AFC South lead to put them into the top five. And right now, the best team in the NFL in the Outkick top five is the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are unquestionably the best team in the AFC. No one has been able to stop them. Their defense is playing lights-out football down the stretch. The Ravens are the best team in the NFL right now. I still believe that they are beatable because I don't think their offense is off the charts good, and I think if they get down like they did against the Browns and like they did against the Chiefs, particularly down double digits, their offense struggles. Certainly, Lamar Jackson could get injured. Any starting quarterback that gets injured changes the overall trajectory of the team. But right now, the Ravens are the best team in the AFC, the best team in the NFC, and I think the only team you can argue is potentially better than the Ravens right now is the 49ers, coming off of their epic win on the road against the Saints. The 49ers only have 2 losses this year, in overtime against the Seahawks and by 3 all the way across the country in Baltimore. I believe the 49ers and the Ravens should be considered substantial favorites in both of their conferences to make the Super Bowl. Third best team in the NFL right now, I have the Saints. Even though I'm a little bit apprehensive about their offense and the way they've been playing down the stretch, their defense and the way the defense has been playing down the stretch, didn't like their performance against the Carolina Panthers a couple of weeks ago. They lost at home to the Falcons. They're 10-3, a little bit wobbly, though, on the defensive side of the ball. I've got the Saints third. I've got the Seahawks fourth. They've won a lot of close games. That makes you nervous because you'd like to see dominance from your top teams. But Russell Wilson has been playing so incredibly well that I think you're hard-pressed not to put the Seahawks in the top of your five. And then in the fifth spot, I have got the Kansas City Chiefs, who just went on the road against the Patriots and beat them. That means I have dropped the New England Patriots out of my top five. The Patriots are declining rapidly. I've got the Seahawks 4. I like what I've seen from the Chiefs. I'm a little bit nervous about the Chiefs because if you have a good rushing attack, like the Indianapolis Colts with Marlon Mack did, like the Houston Texans did, and like the Titans did with Derrick Henry, I think in cold weather games, their offense can sputter and you can run against them. But that would be my top five right now, Outkick. Ravens, 49ers, Saints, Seahawks, Chiefs are the 5 best teams in the NFL, okay? The bottom five teams from the NFL, I have got the Jags at 28. The Jags have completely quit on the season. They have lost, I believe it's 5 straight games by double digits. They were 4-4, and now they are 4-9. That is not an impressive performance by the Jags at all. They have quit on the season. Not even Minshew Mania can save them. The Jags are probably too high at the 28th best team in the league. In the 29th spot, I've got the Detroit Lions. Really not even fair to judge them since they're on their third-string quarterback. It appears Matt Stafford's out for the year, but they are pretty awful. I've got the Lions at 29. Redskins at 30. Dwayne Haskins is the worst starting quarterback in the NFL by a massive statistical margin. I continue to believe it's possible that whoever the Redskins hire as head coach could Josh Rosen Dwayne Haskins and send him somewhere else and kick him to the curb and go back into the draft and go get someone new. The Giants are at 31. Eli's team got up 17-3. They couldn't get the win. Might be the final start of Eli Manning's career. In overtime, they lose. And the Bengals are the worst team in the NFL. As I said yesterday, I don't see how the Bengals avoid picking Joe Burrow. That is the right move. And I think if I'm a Bengals fan, that's the only move that we can make. Last night, Monday Night Football, the NFC East is a disaster. And we are trending towards the possibility of an 8-8 Dallas Cowboy team or an 8-8 Philadelphia Eagles team that wins the division, potentially hosting a 13-3 San Francisco 49er team on the road, which is a ridiculous result for the NFL postseason. The NFC East is awful. The worst division, second worst division since 1970 by the numbers. I know the NFC West has been awful before when the Seahawks won. I know the the NFC South has been awful when the Carolina Panthers won. Both of those teams had losing records and hosted a home playoff game, but it shouldn't happen. The four best teams in the playoffs should get the 4 home games, not because of random geographic luckiness. Should you get the opportunity to host a playoff game? And remember, the Eagles and the Cowboys are this bad, despite the fact that the Giants and the Redskins I've got as 2 of the 3 worst teams in my rankings, meaning you should get 4 victories just by beating those guys. The NFC East should be ashamed of itself. The NFL should look at this and make it the top 4 teams getting to host a home playoff game, and anything can happen there. Somebody said the Seahawks had a 7-9 record and hosted a home playoff game. That's fine. But you shouldn't host a home playoff game if the team that you're hosting has a better record. Shouldn't happen. Shouldn't be a setup in the NFL that allows that to happen, AFC or NFC. This is a wild story. LeVeon Bell signs a big contract with the Jets in the offseason after sitting out an entire season for the Steelers. He doesn't play on Sunday, and the Jets say he's out because he has the flu, but then he goes out to bowl from 10:30 till 1 a.m. There's alcohol at his bowling alley. He's got the flu and he's not able to play on Sunday, but Saturday night he's able to go out and bowl. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. First of all, it's insanely dumb of LeVeon Bell to put himself in this situation. If you aren't able to play in an NFL game, you certainly shouldn't be healthy enough to be out bowling either, all right? So that should be out there as the number one statement. Second of all, you are already questioned in terms of your dedication to football. Why in the world would anybody be paying this guy millions of dollars? The Jets paid him a lot of money and they stink. The Pittsburgh Steelers let him go, and even James Conner hasn't been this healthy, and they're still in the playoffs right now. This is a bad, bad look, okay? I haven't missed a day, knock on wood, being sick from radio in 4 years, all right? I'm not claiming that I'm a hero, but I haven't missed a game, a work day in 4 years. If I did call in sick, there's a 0% chance I would be out anywhere public that when my show is going on looking like I'm 100% healthy, because I would assume that somebody's going to take my picture, it'll go on social media, and my bosses would end up seeing it. Not to mention I don't want to lie, but if you have any kind of profile at all in a public arena these days, you have to assume that somebody's going to recognize you when you're out in public. And you have to acquit yourself as such. This is my thing with Justin Timberlake. Justin Timberlake holding hands with that girl on Bourbon Street was crazy. I don't know how he assumed that that was not going to get out. Wild. Also wild, by the way, to apologize for that, but wild that it got out. So LeVeon Bell bowling, insanely dumb. Adam Gase says, what do you want me to do? I can't force him to stay at home. But if you're so sick that you can't play football, you certainly shouldn't be healthy enough to go bowling. And some people can say, well, it's a lot easier to bowl than it is to play in a football game. I'm sorry. Do you think Michael Jordan, when he had the flu game, would have been out somewhere else and set out a game? You only play 16 days, all right? I didn't have a lot of respect for LeVeon Bell to begin with. I lost a lot more respect for LeVeon Bell with this knucklehead decision. As I also believe, how dumb are the New England Patriots? I mean, how insanely stupid are the Patriots? If you have a reputation of always being a team that is on the margins, cheating with Deflategate, trying to film people on Super Bowl walkthroughs, why in the world would you be dumb enough? Why in the world would you possibly be dumb enough to actually put yourself in a position where people could believe that you are taping an opponent on the sidelines? This is, to me, an utterly insane and stupid decision on their part. Whether or not they were behaving in an inappropriate fashion, sometimes you should punish somebody for just being so dumb that you could allow something like this to happen. Now, I don't think Bill Belichick or Robert Kraft or anybody that is high up in the Patriots organization made this decision. But if anybody in your organization is dumb enough to do this, then you need to fire them. Because here's the deal. Nobody's watching videos on Patriots.com about the scouting department. All right, I'm going to tell you that right now. I run a website. I have worked in digital media for over a decade. No one cares about the freaking scouting department and the videos that Patriots.com are making. Nobody is watching those. Not even if they're autoplay on Patriots.com when you go to the website. All right? You have to be an immense loser to find yourself wasting time on this. So the benefit on the cost-benefit analysis here is virtually negligible, virtually non-existent. So whoever made the decision to go and get on an airplane and fly with a crew to Cleveland to go do this story should be fired for pure stupidity. I want this video released. I want everybody to be able to watch it. I want us to be able to judge whether the Patriots should suffer any sort of substantial penalty for this. I'm telling you right now, I don't give the Patriots the benefit of the doubt. I don't think any of you give the Patriots the benefit of the doubt. The Patriots have to know this, and they have to be smarter in order to not put themselves in this situation. I think the NFL should release the tape. Finally, it is the 30th anniversary of Christmas Vacation, one of the best films that has ever been made in all of the Christmas movie oeuvre. All right? Christmas Vacation, I can't believe it's been 30 years now that this film has been out. But it's amazing. And so I decided to take my kids who have never seen Christmas Vacation yet, the 11-year-old, the 9-year-old, and the 5-year-old. The wife and I went to the movies last night. I wasn't really excited about watching the first half of the Eagles game against the awful Giants. So we went to the movies. It's awesome. It's playing in a lot of theaters for the 30th anniversary of Christmas Vacation, just in time for the holiday season. So we went to the movies. My kids love it, but I eat a lot of crap there. And in particular, they get these nachos, and then I also got peanut M&Ms, and I ate a ton of them. And by the end of the movie, my stomach is starting to act up a little bit. It's like a 15-minute drive back to the house from the movies, and I start to think, oh man, I don't feel very good about this at all. So I'm driving, and I don't know about you, but when your stomach is bad and you got to go to the bathroom, it's like the closer you get to your house, it's as if your stomach can feel that you're getting close to the house, right? And so as I pull up, I barely turn the car off. I sprint inside. Full on. I rush into my bathroom, and I get to the bathroom just in time, drop my pants, where I've got diarrhea like crazy. I mean, just absolutely losing it diarrhea, all right? I think that I have made it. I have that brief moment of relief, you know, when you barely make the toilet and you're sitting there and you feel so much better when the diarrhea comes pouring off of you. Except the lid on my toilet came down after I shoved it up aggressively. It bounced back, and when I sat down and vacated my bowels, when all of the diarrhea came out, I did it directly on top of the closed lid of the toilet. Meaning that all of a sudden, I have that brief instant of thinking, I made it, and then I realize that there's diarrhea all over my legs, all over the floor, everywhere. I have just crapped a ton of diarrhea everywhere. I mean, a shit ton, literally. All right? And I still am not done. So I'm like, oh my God, what have I done? What have I done here? So I have to flip up the lid. All the diarrhea goes everywhere else again. But then I actually get on the toilet and I'm sitting there and I'm finished. All right? We're in two different cars. So while I'm sitting there questioning every decision that I've ever made in my life, thinking to myself, I'm a 40-year-old man and I have just turned this bathroom into a poop diarrhea murder scene. I mean, it's everywhere. You know, you get like one of those crime procedurals and they walk in and there's like blood everywhere and somebody's like, this murder scene's unbelievable. I don't even know how you clean it up. That's what this diarrhea scene looked like. And I literally have no idea what to do. I've never had a disaster like this. I've raised 3 kids. I've seen a lot of poopy diapers. As I am sitting there, I start smelling everything and I start dry heaving, sitting there while I'm still going to the bathroom. And eventually my wife and my kids come in and they come walking in the bathroom because they want to know where I am. And if you're anything like me, if you have young kids, there's like 100% chance that if you go to the bathroom, one of them wants to walk in and see you pooping, right? Doesn't matter what time of day or night it is. If you go to the bathroom and you have young children, they come walking in and they want to watch you like while you're pooping, right? This is 100% chance. So everybody comes in and dad's like, I pooped myself. The kids love it. They think it's the funniest thing they've ever seen. My wife walks in because I had to call her and I'm like, I need, like whatever you got to clean this thing up. So she says, I was like, I don't even know what to do. So she brings me it's like a heavy duty murder kit cleanup. Latex gloves, like every type of cleaning fluid you can possibly imagine. She just drops it off and says, you got this. I'm opening all the doors to the house. You take care of this. All right. So I finish and I stand up and I'm terrified. There's stuff everywhere. I am terrified to flip back down the lid and actually see what is left. So I flip back down the lid and it looks like I have made an entire pot of chili, except it is diarrhea all on the back of the toilet, right in that area between the tank and the actual toilet bowl where it is just pooled. And I'm like, I don't even know if I can do this. It's not like it's normal feces where you could like pick it up. It's like chili. It's like diarrhea all rolled in together. Like there's no substance to it. And so I'm thinking there right now, and I'm like, I would pay $500 or $1,000 if there were an Uber of poop cleanup. If I could have called somebody, not had to even worry about it at all, I would have paid $1,000 to somebody to show up in like a hazmat outfit, like an E.T., when they were like dealing with E.T. and trying to avoid getting sick. I would have paid $1,000 for Uber to come in and to take care of this. I 100% would have, for the Uber of poop. And so I'm sitting there, and I put on the latex gloves, and I go to the back of the toilet, and I start to, I tried to scoop it into like a big trash container that I've got there. And as I put first of all, I asked for a garden tool. One of those tiny little mini garden tools. We don't have one of those. I was thinking maybe that's the best way to do it. As I get my hand in it and try to shovel it in, I got to be honest with you, I immediately gagged and started throwing up too. So the diarrhea in the back of the toilet was so bad that my own diarrhea gagged me and made me throw up. So I spend an hour a full-on hour trying to clean this up. We have one of those things my kids wanted to get that they advertised, the squatty potty. You know what the squatty potty is? The squatty potty is like the thing that you put right around the edge of the toilet so you can like theoretically have better poop posture. So my kids saw this advertised and they decided they wanted it. I got the squatty potty covered in poop. And I was like, I'll be damned if I'm going to clean this thing off. So I just carried it outside in our backyard and I put it on the stairs and I was like, it's supposed to rain today. I'm just going to let God clean it. It was like such a disaster. It was supposed to rain and snow and freeze and everything else. I was like, I'm just going to put it there and I am going to allow it to be cleaned by the heavens. All right. So finally, after an hour, I get everything out of there. It is an unmitigated disaster. The poopocalypse as ever it has been. And I'm still sick to my stomach thinking about it. I think this may cause me to lose like 10 pounds just because I can't eat anymore. But that was my night, all right? So you can go read about it in the anonymous mailbag. I try to confess everything, disaster or not. At the age of 40, I was unable to accurately use the bathroom. And I got to say this. Somebody tell me why toilets have lids. It makes no sense to me at all, having had this disastrous lid issue where it popped back down right as I was going to the bathroom. Why in the world do toilets in the house have a lid? What are we protecting people from? There's no like evaporation issue. We're not outdoors in the Sahara with the sun beating down on our toilets. I don't even understand why it has a lid at all. It's completely worthless. And basically that toilet lid and my inability to control my bowels ruined my life. There's no reason for any lid on toilets. None at all. If you have animals, maybe. If you have kids who are super young and they're going to put their hands in it, maybe. Doesn't make any sense. No toilet should have lids. I love all of you. My name is Clay Travis. DBAP unless you need to SBAP. I will talk to you tomorrow. I will be live on Lock It in 1/2 hour with brilliant gambling advice. Kisses. Make sure you make it to the toilet before you poop all over yourself. This has been Outkick. I'm sorry. Love you. Thank you, Facebook.